Let's start by looking at the problem that autoscaling is trying to address. The problem is, how can we scale services automatically to match demand? That's the core critical issue that autoscaling tries to address. And we need to worry about this because there are multiple applications and scenarios, such as video streaming or gaming, where load changes day by day or even hour by hour. Sometimes the change in load is unpredictable. Sometimes we can predict it in advance. In the case of gaming, for instance, most gaming takes place in the evening. But in either of these cases, we have a simple problem we need to solve, which is we need to scale our system to meet that demand, regardless of whether or not we can plan for it in advance. How can we do that? What we want to do is try to adjust our resources to match the demand curve, to match the number of requests that are coming in for our web application or web service. We don't want to have to do this manually. We would like to do it automatically if possible, and autoscaling's job is to help us automate that process. So what autoscaling does on Alibaba Cloud's platform is it automatically creates and releases ECS instances based on policies that you as the user specify. Further, it can configure Sever Load Balancer and RDS whitelists without any manual intervention from you. So as servers are added, they automatically gain permissions to access RDS databases and automatically get registered with your Sever Load Balancer. Similarly, when an instance is removed by autoscaling, it's removed from the RDS whitelist, and it is also deregistered from the Sever Load Balancer. So it fully automates the process of scale out and scale in. Let's address those concepts in a little bit more detail. So what is scale out? Scale out is simply adding more ECS instances to the autoscaling group. So autoscaling maintains a group or pool of ECS instances, and scaling out means adding additional instances to that group. Scale in is just the opposite. Unlike scale out, scale in removes instances from the pool. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, of course, your peak demand and your average demand probably aren't the same. When your system is not under heavy load, you might want to cut costs by removing unnecessary ECS instances. You can reduce the number of resources you're currently using when your demand is low. This saves you money. Another area where autoscaling service has value is in health checking and elastic self-healing. So the autoscaling cluster or group can monitor the ECS instances that are part of the group, and if one of them is detected to be unhealthy, meaning it fails a health check, then it can be removed from the pool and replaced by a new healthy ECS instance, which allows your service to self-heal. So let's recap. Autoscaling is a management service that allows users to automatically adjust elastic compute resources according to business needs and policies. And there are multiple modes. In fact, we just discussed the 3 modes that autoscaling supports. There's elastic scale out, in which we add additional computing resources to the pool during peak times. There's scale in, when we release ECS instances as the load reduces. And then there's elastic self-healing, in which we detect and replace unhealthy servers, unhealthy ECS instances. That's all for this section. In the next section, let's look at some autoscaling core concepts.